Hi, Scott here from X Factor Cars, Southland's V8 specialists, stockists of the South Island's biggest selection of Holden HSV, also with a wide range of everything Ford, FPV and classic American muscle. With an in-house finance specialist, we can tailor build a package to suit each and every budget, from no deposit, structured payments and up to 60-month terms. If we don't have it in stock, our team will search high and low to find what you want. Check out our testimonials, xfactorcars.co.nz.
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, plane it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
Okay, folks, welcome along, of course, to the 2019 Holden Trade Club Saloon Speedweek, brought to us by a number of partners, which Steve will talk to us about very shortly. Over the next 4 days, we're going to be putting some awesome racing on, saloon racing for you guys over the course of the 4 days. And, of course, we're going to start here at Central Motor Speedway tonight. We move to Riverside Speedway in Invercargill tomorrow night. And then we head off to Dunedin, Beachland Speedway in Dunedin for Saturday night. And we finish it off at Ellesmere Speedway, which is a bit of a new track for Steve and the crew. At the end of it. Steve, of course, I suppose the only thing we can do is thank you very much once again for putting this show together and bringing it down to the South Island.
Yeah, hey, as you know, Jace, there's a lot goes into organising this, but we're very fortunate to get 4 tracks involved in it. Obviously, midweek start here tonight, and but we've got a full field, 22 cars, and everyone's pumped to be here.
Alrighty then, so it's a couple of rookies here. There's some good experience here as well. The favourites, Nigel Ross is here. We've got Rob Flood. There's some really good guys with some young'uns.
Yeah, I think this year, this is the 18th running of this event. I believe this year would be the strongest field we've ever had. These 22 very good cars that are very capable of all winning it. So it should be a great series.
Now, of course, this was a bit of a change around. You did have this event going to happen over different days at different tracks, but you got a job and then you don't have it anymore, so you've come back to New Zealand and got the change. Still kept these days though. Fantastic, 4 days, mate. She's pretty full on those 4 days, isn't it?
Yeah, look, most of the guys race, once a week. Sometimes you're racing twice a week when it's a big event. But, to race 4 nights in a row, is a big ask. And, we're not professional racers. We're doing it for fun. But all the guys love it. I mean, most of the guys tell me this is the event they look forward to the most. So 4 nights consecutive racing, 4 different tracks and that. And you've got great cars. It's a good measure of where you're at in saloon car racing.
Absolutely, and I suppose the other side of it too is, it's just an outstanding event to be a part of. This is event number 18, I'm led to believe, for the Saloon Speedweek as well. Some very good, valuable partners that are on with you this year. Off the cuff and put you on the spot, who's looking after the series this year? Yeah,
look, hey, any kind of motorsports events of this magnitude, you've got to have sponsors involved. I mean, you've got all these teams here that travel long, far to get here, and that you've got to pay them, compensate them fairly to enable the competitors to do it. So Holden Trade Club is the main sponsor, and the presenting sponsor is Valvoline. Burger King's presenting the live stream with you guys and that. We've got Mondial Trucking as one of our group sponsors. Chemwash is one of our group sponsors. Graham Williamson, X Factor Cars down there in Invercargill, he's one of our sponsors. So without those guys, you just can't do it. So, and we're very fortunate to have some new guys this year, being Burger King and Cleanways from down the bottom of the South Island. Lloyd Phillips' company, Cleanways, is involved. So we're really happy to have a couple of new sponsors on board. And that's all our sponsors.
All right, and of course we'll spend most of the next 4 days looking after those guys as well. And once again, as Steve alludes to, thanks very much for that. So the format, much the same as it has been over previous years, and you brought it back to the South Island again. Any particular reason why?
Yeah, look, I just our idea is to carry on for the momentum we gained last year. It'll return to the North Island again next year. We've had 2 years here. It'll go back to the North Island for 2 years, and we're planning on the 20th running of it being something very, very special. We won't allude to that until we get closer to the time. But no, the guys love coming down the South Island. All the North Island guys. Look, it's an old saying, but it's a true saying: Southern hospitality. And as a North Island driver, and we come down here, we really look forward to that Southern hospitality. And then all these tracks provide that.
And of course, a bit of extra coverage this year as well. Bunch of people come tuning in from the States. Big thanks to Speed Shift TV for jumping on board with us as well. So this is probably going to be one of the most watched events ever, apart from the Palmy teams, obviously, in New Zealand.
Yeah, look, it's very good to have a partnership with them that obviously you have forged. So to have that involved, obviously that Speed Shift TV has just been covering that big midget race in America, which has just finished with Michael Pickens, was running along with all the world's best midget drivers. So we're running on following them. So, yeah, pretty exciting times for this event.
Absolutely. Well, Steve, we're not going to hold you up too much more, obviously. Your own sponsors, you want to look after those guys we've got the opportunity to as well?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have the same sponsors on board my car again, Valvoline Mechanics Wear and QMU Tyres back in QMU. So same sponsors on board, so big thanks to them. You can't go racing without sponsors. I've had Valvoline on my car now. This is my 19th season for them, so the 20th Speedweek will be the 20th edition of having Valvoline on my car. So a very good company involved with. In fact, an interesting fact that a lot of people wouldn't know, that the longest standing motorsports agreement, sponsorship agreement that exists today is Max Dumpsey, the sprint car team from Sydney and Valvoline. They're in this 37th year of sponsorship, and that's the best sponsorship, longest standing sponsorship arrangement. So Valvoline's a very committed company to motorsport, and in particular to the teams that they brand on. And then and Mechanics Wear is a company that's come on board for 3 years. They're the leading manufacturer of racewear gloves, along with all sorts of other gloves, but most people will be familiar when you watch NASCAR or any big sporting event. Hayden Patton here tonight, and his thing, you watch all the crew members on that World Rally WRC, they all wear Mechanics Wear gloves.
Defending champions, this man here, Peter Scouten. Now, of course, you're not in your own car, you're in your brother's car. He's been very nice to give you the car, but am I led to believe it's your engine in it?
No, it's actually Arian's engine as well. The complete package is Arian's.
Okay, so obviously you had to come back and defend it. You can't not really, and give these guys a bit of a crack, because we don't want you to retire from saloon car racing being the champion. You've got to give somebody a chance to take it off you. But this track here is one of your favourite tracks, isn't it? This is the one where literally last year you won it on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love coming here. This track is probably one of the fastest, coolest tracks to race on in the country.
Tell me, obviously you're a dairy farmer as well. It's really hard for you to get away and get all this sort of stuff done. Man, I was looking at your Facebook the other day, and you hadn't even started doing any work on the car after the run at Woodford Glen Speedway. Are you confident? Are you ready?
To be really honest, not really. It's only the second run in the car since it's had a complete rebuild, complete change of the rear end. It's not my car, so I'm going to have to get used to how it behaves on the track a little bit as well. But we've scaled it, we've set it up the best we can, and we're just out there having a bit of fun, I think.
So you had a Verdona chassis. What chassis is this one?
It's also a Verdona chassis, but it's not of the same jig.
Okay, so obviously a few changes in the rear end. You did a lot of updates on yours. Has this one been updated? Something similar that it sort of feels like it? Because you went at Woodford Glen Speedway a couple of weeks ago, and you did a lot of winning. Is that correct?
Oh, that was with this setup. Yes, correct.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, you've got some good sponsors on the side of the car, and they always look after you as well, regardless of what you're in. Who does look after you?
Yeah, well, firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the sponsors of the series, Holden Trade Club, Valvoline and Burger King are the main ones sponsoring the series this time around. And very, very excited to be a part of it, and very good to have them on board to make this all happen. Also, Steve Williams and Westwood, a tremendous amount of time they're throwing towards the series. But my own sponsors, the main ones will be Glen 24/7, Norwood Farm Machinery Centre, Custom Signs, AWS. Now I've got to actually have a little peek. It's actually Owaka Motors now, because Marlborough Engine Recondition is no more. Has he got any others on there that I don't know about? Oh, yeah, MV Motors. Yeah, Mike as well. Mike's a good sort. Helps us wherever he can, so yeah.
Is he going to be helping you out over the course of the Speed Week?
Oh, you bloody better.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck, Pete. Thanks very much for talking to us. And give us another couple of seconds, folks, and we'll get another interview lined up. Here he is, the man, the legend that is himself. He's retired and drives all around the countryside for most of his days now. Apparently, he sold his house up, got himself into a camper van. Well, not sold it up, but you've rented it out. And he's just on the road. He lives on the road. And he's telling me he's loving it. But it is, of course, Wes Hughes. Wes is the manager for the 2019 Holden Trade Club Saloon Speedweek. Wes, first and foremost, welcome back. Great to have you here, and I'm sure you'll be excited for, this is your 15th Speedweek, 18 in total, 15th this time round. Wes, you know what it's all about, and what are your expectations this time round?
I just expect a lot of clean and tidy racing, and it's so great to be back here at Cromwell. Every time I come back here, there's something always changed. There's always an improvement in the club, and the standard here is just fantastic.
Are you looking forward to these? You know, there's a couple of a track you haven't been to before. How's all that stuff going? Like, I mean, obviously going to a new track, dealing with different people.
Very much so. We always look forward to promote the Saloon Speedweek at a new track and help them out financially, and just to promote them on our Saloon Facebook page. It's great.
But different this year. All rounds, with the exception of maybe Dunedin, are all free live streamed and stuff like that. Obviously good support from Burger King New Zealand for that. Fantastic for those guys. A lot of other good sponsors as well. We're going to look after them throughout the course of the series. But your role as a manager, what do you do? Sit on the back of the truck drinking cups of tea and eating biscuits? Is that what you're going to do?
I've got 1 minute to spare, so I sat and had a cup of coffee. But no, I look after the crew members. I have a meeting with the crew members and welcome, make sure they're welcome. Talk to the drivers, make sure they're relaxed, they're easy, make sure the cars are in preparation. And there's a lot behind the scene that Steve Williams and I do, a lot of paperwork, the grids, the penalty points. There's a lot behind it. We do it, but love it and enjoy it.
Good stuff. I see this pretty flash truck we've got here. We'll get the cameraman to swing around and have a wee look at this. This is AC Dalco. So these guys obviously are providing you with a ute. And I see lots of goodies in the back there. So this has all been done for the Holden Trade Club Speedweek, mate. This is great, fantastic.
This is all through Holden Trade Club. The Holden New Zealand is part of this sponsorship deal. We can use this, and this is the way we promote their trade.
Absolutely fantastic as well. And we're not going to make you rattle off the sponsors because we've done that already. But if you want to, you can. I'm sure you do. So that's okay. We'll let you do it then.
Here we go. Holden Trade Club, Valvoline, Chemwash, Tauranga ITM, Barclay and Gravers, Repco, thank you. Cleanways, X Factor Cars, Mondial, CRC, and Burger King, thank you.
Hi, Malcolm Nardo from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV over your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
At Wholesale Tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
So here we have it, folks, for the 2019 Holden Trade Club Saloon Speedweek. This kicks it off here in Cromwell. They've got another couple of rounds to go in Invercargill, Dunedin and Ellesmere. But this is where all the action is, as we see the AC Delco ute leading this first two heats out. And we've got Group A and Group B as they start making their way around the track. And then we'll wait till we're out. We'll give you a bit of a rundown of just who's out there at the moment. Watch the 116A, the Ray White sponsored car coming out onto the grid now of David Ingram. As they slowly make their way around, green flag is up and ready to rock and roll as they come through turn number 4. Is it going to be a clean start? And it is, and they're off and racing in heat number 1. And they all get cleanly down towards turn number 1. Watch for turn number 2, though. This is where it'll catch some of these drivers out. But everybody's got through there cleanly at the moment. And leading them off, Peter Scouten doing a great job out in front of the 12C car. Everybody else tippy-toeing their ways through turn number 3 and 4. But these two out the front, certainly not holding back. Willie Woodhouse, 71C, doing a great job as they head down now. These boys have broken away from the pack, and they've got a fairly good lead. Oh, Willie Woodhouse has a little bit of a problem down there in turn number 3. Does a great job to recover. He's got Jeff Richardson trying to chase hard after him. And there's the rookie, 89A of Tom Roberts, doing a great job in 4th position and holding his own at the moment. Danny Knight there, he's also wanting to go, but these front boys in the form of Peter Scouten is absolutely leapfrogging everybody at the moment. Oh, there we go, turn 2, just about caught him out. Willie Woodhouse not even close enough to make a charge. There'd be 10, 12 cars in it, and again, another 10, 12. Back to the 53I of Jeff Richardson. So it's a clean set of heels out in front at the moment. There's a little bit of action going on further back. Everybody's managing to keep it clean. That's what this is all about. It looks like there's a bit of an attack going on. Mark Hinton, he wants a pass of Danny Knight, trying hard, turn 2. Looks like it just about caught out Nigel Ross, but he gathers it up as well. And it's not going to be long, folks, because before there is a bit of an overtaking manoeuvre going on here. Peter Scouten catching up to the back of these cars pretty quickly as he heads down into 3 and 4 again. So Willie Woodhouse doing a great job holding on a 2nd position. Then when he go back again, the young rookie holding it all together. Tom Roberts in the B&T sponsored 89A car. Richardson, it's just fallen back. Can't do anything about it. Danny Knight not making an impression at all at anybody in front of him. And there's a bit of a gaggle. Ivan Murdoch in the mix back there as well, as they all head down towards turn 1 and 2. The rest going through 4. So Peter right on the back of that group now. He's going to have to be careful to get his way through here without getting tangled up in any trouble. This will give an opportunity for Woodhouse to try to catch up. Oh, Ivan Murdoch and Burgess, teammates come together in turn number 2. Not what you want to see, as Pete just tiptoes us round the outside as he tries to squeeze past there. Not that Willie Woodhouse is catching up much. He manages to get round Matt Green. Manages to get it clean. He's got Ivan Murdoch on his outside through turn number 2. Puts his foot down, tries to get distance between them as he heads down to turn number 3 and 4. Willie Woodhouse not making much an advantage of this. And the youngster of Tom Roberts, the rookie, is just starting to make a little bit of progress. Some of these drivers are going to have to work hard tonight in the crews to find the speed they need. Willie Woodhouse now starting to make a bit of an impression on the back of Scouten. The white flag comes out, 1 lap to go. Phil Burgess is the next one for Pete to get past. Can he do it cleanly? He manages to sort of slide his way through there. Down the straight for the last time into 3 and 4. He's going to get the checkered flag this time. Holds off from passing Burgess. Doesn't have to push it too hard. Checkered flag. Peter Scouten takes first points. Then we go back to 89A. Tom Roberts, not a bad debut for a rookie in the Speedweek. Then we go back to 53I. Jeff Richardson. Danny Knight will bring it home in 5th position. So everybody a little bit tentative, I almost say. There wasn't too many big lunges. That group at the back certainly had a bit of biffo. lead them round this time. He's going to be the pace setter. You don't want to jump the pole line as they come up to it now. Green flag is up and ready. Green flag drops. Who's going to get the best one down there out of the first corner? And it's Steve Williams. Away and gone, down to 1 and 2. Phil Burgess next. Then we'll go back to Nigel Ross. Billy Woodhouse doing a great job in 4th. Coming under attack pretty quick. There's Barry Taylor. The Cromwellite round the outside. Wants to make up another place. Tries to get past Billy. But Flood, he wants to go as well. He's been balked on the inside, allowing Taylor to go right round and claim 4th position. A little bit of Biffo going back on further in the pack. Raymond Phillips gets a bit of a nudge. I think it was a youngster in form of Tom Roberts there who got in a bit of strife, but they're all cleanly around for another lap. As we watch Steve Williams take off out in the front, further back in the pack, they're still trying to find where they should be. Watch Scott Lansdale. He's having a bit of a shot. He needs to make up some room. As Steve Williams takes him down through turn number 1 and number 2 again. Phil Burgess doing a great job in 2nd position. So it's Cromwell 2 and 4 at the moment, split by Nigel Ross. Flood's coming pretty hard at the back of Barry Taylor as they come down through turn number 4. Billy Woodhouse doing a great job to hold out Mr. Williamson as they head down to turn number 2, those guys. Back in the mix there, Chris Taylor. Raymond Phillips wants past him as they head down to turn number 3. But out in the front, it's Steve Williams at the moment doing a great job. Phil Burgess coming under immense fire from Nigel Ross. Manages to hold him off as they go through turn number 2, but there's a whole gaggle of cars fighting for some of those minor positions. Willie Woodhouse is in amongst the mix. But out the front, looks like this time Ross will get Burgess down into turn number 1. Taylor's been passed by Flood. And if everybody's not careful down there in turn number 2 with the minor places, there's going to be a coming together, I'll tell you. But now Ross puts Williams under fire as they head down into turn number 1. Burgess still in the mix back there. Flood lining him up. Barry Taylor wants back into it. Raymond Phillips has been given a bit of fresh air as he goes through turn number 2. Let's see what the young fella can do as he heads down to turn number 3. He's got a fair bit of room to make up. Willie Woodhouse just struggling to get past Taylor further back in the pack. But it's Billy Woodhouse who's under fire now from Graham Williamson down into turn number 1. Graham Williamson gets the work done. Oh, and there was a bit of contact. I said it was going to happen, and it has. And it looks like it was Roberts come together with Taylor. There's a bit of a spin and a lot of dust. And Roberts still sitting down there in turn number 2. As the dust cleared, he came visible and the yellow has come out. Not a good position to be sitting. And not moving at the moment as the B&T sponsored. 89A, eyes away now. So they're going to have to get this one sorted out pretty quickly. He's sideways, he's away early. He took the opportunity to put his foot down, try to get away from Nigel Ross as quickly as he can. He knows Nigel will be right on his rear bar as they head through turn 1 and 2. Everybody gets through there cleanly, but it's Williams under fire, and Phil Burgess holds off a charge from Flood as they head down to turn number 3 through turn number 4. Williams is still out in front at the moment. Fastest man on the track, as we said, Raymond Phillips, who's on the back of that pack now with a 17.29. He wants past some of these drivers reasonably quick as Ross tries down the inside and turn number 3 on Williams. Can he make it stick? Doesn't look like it. He might get a run. A drag race even down to turn number 1. And he does it. Pulls in front of Steve Williams. So great effort there. Phil Burgess just managing to hold off that charge by Flood as it's Barry Taylor now. Tries to take the initiative down the inside of turn number 3. Raymond Phillips round the outside of turn number 3. Last lap flag comes out. And it's the 46A of Nigel Ross out on the front, making a bit of a gap, not by many. Steve Williams holding on a second, and Raymond Phillips, great moves, takes 2 through 2 and gets himself into 4th, past both Taylor and Flood. Checker flag goes out. It's Ross, then Williams, Burgess, followed by Raymond Phillips. Then we'll go back to Flood, Taylor. Willie Woodhouse doing a great job to get off the back of that grid. Then we'll go back to Graham Williamson, then Taylor, then Andrews, then Billy Woodhouse, and the last runner in that one was, after having a tangle, was Roberts.
Okay, folks, back down to the pits here at Central Motor Speedway course for the Holden Trade Club Speedweek for 2019. First blood went to this man here, Peter Scouten. Peter, must be stoked with that one, mate.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't know what to expect, but that track is just awesome, like it always is.
Tell me, obviously you're making a few changes underneath there. I can see gear sets and all bits and pieces are being changed around. Obviously, there's more to come out of the car yet.
Oh, the car was actually a handful in the last one, so we're just getting it to meet up where the trick's going to go.
I mean, you'd had to win that one off the front anyway, because if you didn't, it's always going to make it a bit harder for the rest of the meeting. So, I mean, you know, first blood, easy blood, but, you know, it's next time not so easy, is it?
No, the track will be going off just a slight little bit, and it'll just be harder to pass cars going through tonight, and we're off grid 16 in the next one.
What's the track like?
Fantastic. Nothing short of fantastic.
That's good. I see you had the car stereo on and smoking the ashtray, and away you went.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
All right, mate, good sponsors. Who looks after you?
Well, firstly, the Speedweek sponsors. We've got Valvoline, we've got Burger King, and we've got Holden Trade Club sponsoring the series again. And without them, there wouldn't be a series. So, yeah, and then my own sponsors, Glen 24/7, Norwood Farm Machinery Centre. We've got Owaka Motors, MV Motors, AWS, and Custom Signs.
But it is Nigel Ross that's won that last heat. Nigel, you must be pretty stoked with that. You just turned 50, so you're trying to make the most out of everything today, aren't you?
Yeah, I came in and said, can you amp up the power steering? I'm getting a bit old out there. No, it was good. I mean, I've just got to settle down. I'm a little bit agitated, and yeah, I love this track. But, you know, like you guys see, you had heaps of rain down here, and the cush hasn't settled down, and so she's a bit rough here and there, but, you know, thank God we're running, really. No, it's good for us. It's heading in the right direction. Looks like this car's going to be good for underneath passing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was really good on the track earlier on. Was it a bit of a handful? Lots of changes going on here?
So, yeah, we put a cooler on for the power. Yeah, there's a bit of power steer issue, and we're just working through that. And setup-wise, we're a little bit unknown.
The last time we seen this car in its physical presence, it was hanging upside down and a lot of damage done to it. And obviously John Lovelady's done a massive amount of work to get this thing going. Is it feeling good? Is it feeling like it wants to get up and go?
It is feeling awesome. You know, my first one out, we got two first and a fourth. Last weekend I got a first, second and a third. But it's 4-coil now, so it's not a torsion. So that's just learning what to do. And Rob Flood's been really good to help out, so it's a suspension thing, and just little bit by little bit we'll work on it. But getting up onto the straight and coming underneath cars, that's what that's all about, in the dust.
Okay, so looks $1 million. Good sponsors on the car. Who looks after you?
Look, I'd like to say thanks to Stealth Engine. That's Ollie and Maud. I'd like to thank my company, Chem Wash. I'd like to thank Ben, Procar Services. I'd like to thank Snell's Beach Panel and Paint, and obviously Jackson Lovelady for the sign writing, and then John and Chris Lovelady for such a fantastic car. It's just absolutely brilliant.
Coming down to turn number 3, through to turn number 4. Green flag is at the ready. And away we go. Who's going to get the run down to turn number 1? It looks like it's going to be Ingram who gets a great start. There's Raymond Phillips straight into 3rd position. Taylor, good start, gets himself into 4th. Matt Green back in 5th as Barry Taylor takes it away from him down into turn number 3. At the moment, it's Ingram out in front. It's not a bad start by Lansdowne as well. But Raymond Phillips right on the back as those front 3 disappear a little bit further. Barry Taylor, big move. On the other Taylor out there at the moment, the former Chris in the 18K car. Everybody's staying clean at the moment. Across the line for lap number 2. And here comes Raymond Phillips, tries to get round the inside of turn number 2 on the 74A car, doesn't make it stick. Barry Taylor, though, making a bit of a break in 4th position. George Phillips now hounding the Hydrolink-sponsored 18K car. Ivan Murdoch trying to chase his fellow teammate up there in the front. Ingram still manages to hold it together as he comes under more pressure from Lansdowne. Raymond Phillips just can't find a way past that 74 car. So come around to collect lap number 4. Everybody behaving nicely out there at the moment. And then again, we go through turn number 2. And Barry Taylor up towards the wall, loses a little bit of ground, but manages to keep in front of Chris Taylor. In the 18K car, further back in the pack, Peter Scouten's only managed to pull up 3 places so far. Oh, George Phillips tries down the inside in turn number 2. Doesn't get it to stick on Chris Taylor. Matt Green is coming under fire from Danny Knight further back in the pack. As Peter, a bit of a moment for Peter Scouten down there into turn number 3. Manages to get it all sorted out. Holds onto his place. In fact, a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of that 12C car at the moment. Out in front, Ingram still under pressure. Manages to hold it well. Raymond Phillips chucks it down the inside of turn number 2. He had to try something and it doesn't work, but he had to give it a go. It's the back of 12C car. More smoke coming out now. Raymond Phillips tries round the inside of turn number 4. Can he get it to stick? He goes down to 1. I reckon he's got it this time. Brilliant move. That's been coming from a few laps back. Ingram tries to fight back, doesn't get it to work. And Lansdale loses out as well. Loses a bit of ground on Ingram. But it's Raymond Phillips out now in the front of the 17D car. Doing a fantastic job tonight. The 2 Taylors still trying to fight it out for 4th and 5th. And the other Phillips wants to go down there as well. Down now to come across and collect lap number 10. Raymond Phillips making a little bit of a break. He had a second, it's out to 1.5 now. Ingram having to fight hard to keep Lansdale behind him. Barry Taylor doing a great job to hold off George Phillips. Ivan Murdoch now lining up the back of the Hydrolink car. White flag comes out. So if you're going to make a move, team, you better do it now. As Raymond Phillips pulls out a bigger lap. As he heads down into turn number 3 now, round into turn number 4 for the win of the night. And a checkered flag for the 17D car. Ingram holds on to second. Then we'll go back to Lansdowne. George Phillips, what a great job to get up to 4th position past Barry Taylor. Then we'll go back to Chris Taylor, Ivan Murdoch. A very smoky 12C. And Peter Scouten brings it home in 8th position. Then Danny Knight. Then we go back to Matt Green. Paul Wright in 11th. Billy Woodhouse in 12th. Mark Hinton back there in 13. And to round them out, Steve Williams.
Okay, folks, here we are, of course, down here at Central Motor Speedway for the 2019 Holden Trade Club Saloon Speedweek. And the winner of the last heat, very well done too. It is, of course, Raymond Phillips, made in the 17. What are you now? D car? So must be good to get a bit of a win under your belt, man.
Yeah, the confidence boost is right up there now.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends, I'm not nervous now, so...
We got a lot of footage of you getting pretty excited in the car after that win, so obviously it meant quite a bit to you.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so the car, how's it feeling? Obviously it's winning races, but is it feeling good?
Oh, the car's feeling absolutely perfect. You can put it anywhere on the track.
I just spoke to your cousin and he reckons that it's all down to that feature and he reckons he's going to make sure that you're behind him in that feature. How's that going to go?
Well, I hope we're 1-2, but you never know.
You got to push for it, don't you?
Yeah.
Any changes? I mean, you've been up here watching sprint cars. Any changes to anything else?
Just really tyre pressures.
Nothing else?
No, nothing.
Well, that's got to be a good thing, eh? Good sponsors on your car. Who looks after you?
Yep, Powder Line, Cleanways, iSigns, iBattery. Yeah.
Good stuff, mate. Well, congratulations on the win, eh?
Cheers. And I'd like to thank Valvoline, Holden Trade Club and BK for sponsoring this event and putting it on.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff kinner. Once caught, the kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
Situated just 1.5 hours drive from Christchurch is Hanmer Springs, a small alpine village that has everything for the adventurer or for someone looking to relax. Stay a while and enjoy a bike ride through the numerous bush tracks, or relax in the famous hot pools. Take the whole family and let the kids take on the many attractions on offer. And to top off your stay, book now with Hanmer Holiday Homes, where there's a budget and accommodation to suit everyone. Call now.
Alrighty, while we've got the opportunity too, we just caught up with Raymond. We might as well catch up with the other half, the cousin, and this is George Phillips. George, you were just speaking before off camera and you said that you believe that everything's going to be in this feature race. You're setting your car up for that. Is that exactly 100% right?
Yeah, I'd just like to get solid finishes in the features and the dash for cash, and sort of just pin everything on the feature. That's where I reckon where the money's going to be made.
Well, I suppose at the end of the day, we don't want to win it in the first race. You don't want to win it in the second race. You want to win it over the next 4 nights. And I suppose just slow and steady is a good state and a good way to be.
Yeah, dead right. Solid finishes. No 50-50 stuff. Just pass where you can. Nothing stupid. Just get the job done.
Well, it's all points, isn't it? And the car itself, how's it performing?
It feels good, actually. Couldn't be any more happy with it. And Brian and Lloyd and myself setting it up nice and it's feeling good. Track's good. Things are good.
That's good. Everything's good, and good sponsors as well.
Yeah, Cleanways, I battery.
So watch the push truck hit off now. So it will be a lonely Tom Roberts out there in the front. He's a pace setter anyway, 89A. Flood's just going to have to hold back. 2 Phillips off the back. Barry Taylor in there as well as the green flag goes up. So here we go, green flag's going to drop, green flag's down there away. Who's going to get it down to the first corner? Remember, they're not going to do anything silly here. They're not going to win it in the first corner. They need to get through there cleanly. And it's Raymond Phillips who falls to the back. George Phillips got a better run through there. Roberts managed to hold it out in front. Barry Taylor going round the outside, doing a great job in the 28T. Bit of understeer, loses some placings. But he's managing to gather it up and head down to turn number 1. So it's Roberts still out in the front. Then we go Flood. Oh, Barry Taylor, another big understeer into turn number 2, allowing Raymond Phillips to slip on by. As they head down to turn number 3 now, Roberts still managing to hold on. Flood looks like he's going to go round the outside. It's a drag race to turn number 1, but Flood's got it as he tips it into turn number 1. Roberts next. Then it looks like Raymond Phillips is going to clean up Barry Taylor. Raymond Phillips down the outside of Roberts into turn number 3. Gets it done. A little bit sideways, but I reckon that's a way to do it through there. So Raymond Phillips into 2, Flood out in front. George Phillips slots in behind the cousin as they head down into turn number 1 now. A couple of racy drivers out there at the moment with D on the side of their car. As Flood pulls away a little bit down into turn number 3. We're 4 back to Raymond Phillips. George Phillips right on his rear bar, understeer in turn number 3. Drops them back about a car length. Then we go back to Roberts and Taylor. But at the moment, Flood's got it under control out in the lead. But it looks like George Phillips wants that second position as they head down to turn number 3. Just can't get the car set up. Raymond Phillips a little bit high. White flag comes out of this dash. Flood's got it at the moment. As he heads down into turn number 1, he's got a clear area in front of him. Raymond Phillips has got George right in his rear. He'll know all about that as they head down to turn number 3. As Flood chucks it in. Makes it nice and steady as he heads through there. No silly action right about now. Checkered flag. Flood takes it out in the 791 car. Then we've got Raymond Phillips. Then we go George Phillips. Backs to Roberts. And then back to 28T. in the form of Barry Taylor. So there's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. 11 will be Phil Burgess parked in the middle. That's how they're going to start that one. So go across the pole line. It's going to drop any second and away they go. Who's going to give it a good shot? And off the back, Willie Woodhouse. He wanted to go early. He's just going to have to hold his position back there. He gets caught up behind Chris Taylor. And it's Ivan Murdoch who gets away first. Heading down to turn number 3. And it's Chris Taylor wants to go on the inside of Steve Williams. And it's Ingram who wants around the outside. But it ain't going to work. Ivan Murdoch, meanwhile, has a fresh track to get going on. He needs to get a bit of distance as Chris Taylor tries down the inside of Steve Williams into turn number 2. Can't get a stick. Ingram just about goes round, gets a tag slapper out of 2. That's going to put him to the back of this pack. Nigel Russell struggling a little bit in the 46A car, but it's Ivan Murdoch at the moment out in the front. He's got about 3 or 4 car lengths in it. Then we go back to Steve Williams of the Valvoline-sponsored 21H. Willie Woodhouse, check him out. He's in 3rd place. He wants to start up the front. Looks like he's trying to go round the outside of Steve Williams in turn number 3 and 4. Bit bumpy up there on the loose stuff. But it looks like he might just get this tied up as they head down to turn number 2. Oh, gets locked into the inside of the pole line. Steve Williams now makes a lunge at Ivan Murdoch down the inside of 3. Loses a heap of places there. He falls back quite a bit. Not sure what happened to Steve Williams. He's under fire now from Willie Woodhouse. Ivan Murdoch is out the front. It's not far away from a white flag. Steve Williams having to hold off Willie Woodhouse. Chris Taylor just sitting in the pack as well. White flag's coming out. Ivan Murdoch, oh, a bit of rough stuff there. Slowed him down a little bit. But he's still managing. Willie Woodhouse goes round the outside of Steve Williams for second. Ivan Murdoch hasn't got far to go. He's going to pick up P2, I reckon. Come on, Murdoch, give it to it, Sunshine. As he heads down to turn number 3, the Cromwellite runs a little bit high, but I reckon he's going to get this one. Ivan Murdoch wins dash number 2. Picks up $100 for the goodness. Willie Woodhouse comes home second. Then we'll go back to Steve Williams. Chris Taylor just couldn't do anything about those front 3. Then we'll go back to Ingram. Nick Ross, not sure what happened there. He comes home in 6th position. Well, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 right there. Ivan Murdoch, he's a pace setter. He's on the outside in position number 2. Everybody else filing along. You have to watch that restart as Peter Scouten moves forward a little bit. See if the officials pick up on that. The green flag goes down. Who's going to get to the first corner fastest? And it looks like Flood and Raymond Phillips down the inside. Check that one out. Dives down the inside, gets into first place. Flood's going to drag race him down to turn number 2. Raymond Phillips, he saw a gap and took it. George Phillips up into 3rd place. Great run by the cousins so far. But Floods, he's not going to have too much of it. Fires it down towards turn number 1. Has to settle for 2nd position. Ivan Murdoch falls back to 4th. Willie Woodhouse trying to pick up that position as they head through turn number 2. Everybody clean that time around. So we're underway, 1 lap down. It looks like Raymond Phillips making a bit of a gap out there in the front. Flood trying hard to get on the heels of him as George Phillips tries to get past Flood down into turn number 3. Ivan Murdoch holding on to 4th position. Oh, spin there by Flood. Flood's turned it around. Goes to the infield. Can he keep it going so we don't have a yellow? Looks like he can do. Roberts having a bit of a fight with Lansdale there. Barry Taylor wants in on the action further back, but he gets sideways. And Skelton hits him as well. So out in front, it's Phillips on Phillips at the moment. Covs and rivalry. Raymond, he's got it so far. We know they're both very quick drivers. Willie Woodhouse manages to get past Ivan Murdoch through 2. Then we go back to Chris Taylor. As they head round now to collect lap number 4, Ingram. He's the next to the best out there. He's got Steve Williams on his tail as well as Nigel Ross. But out the front at the moment, George Phillips eating the dust of Raymond as he went through turn number 2. He wants to change that around pretty quick. George Phillips, the fastest out on the track at the moment with a 17.33. Raymond, 17.34. He goes down into turn number 1. Chucks it in. Raymond Phillips runs high. George Phillips takes the lead in the 47D car. Heading down to turn number 3, status quo. George looks like he's a little bit quicker out there. Gets a bit untidy in that edge of dirty clay. Willie Woodhouse coming up in 3rd position. Then we go back to Ivan Murdoch holding on to 4th. Chris Taylor next, and then we go back to Nigel Ross, who's managed to get past a very fast Ingram as they all settle themselves down for coming across to get lap number 8. George Phillips well out in front at the moment and clearing off, touches a wall as he goes into turn number 1. Raymond Phillips falling into the back of the clutches of Willie Woodhouse. He's going to have to watch that. Willie Woodhouse is on a charge. George Phillips out in the front. Crosses the line, lap number 9. Willie Woodhouse is going to wheel up alongside the rear of Raymond Phillips. Can't do anything about it into turn number 1 and 2. Further back, some action going on. Lansdale coming under fire from Steve Williams for 7th and 8th. Looks like now George Phillips coming up on some of those back markers. That's going to change the map of the race. He's going to have to get past cleanly. First one he'll come across is Paul Wright. Does a nice job of it. Comes through turn number 4 now to collect lap number 11. Everybody behaving nicely out there at the moment. George Phillips off and gone. He's got about a straightaway in it back to Raymond, who's still under fire from Willie Woodhouse. Ivan Murdoch, then we go back to Chris Taylor. Nick Ross managing to hold off the chasing pack at the moment. Steve Williams trying hard to get round Ingram. Can't get it done. It looks like that Lansdale wants to go there. Lansdale wants to go there as well. Then we go back to Peter Skelton's car, still running okay at the moment in 12C. But it's all up the moment. George Phillips in the thick of it. In fact, he's trying to pass Flood, who was challenging for the lead earlier on in the race. Coming up on the back of Graham Williamson, there's a whole gaggle of cars he's trying to get past cleanly. Like he said, don't do anything stupid, just want solid results out of this one. You can't get much more solid than first, Sunshine. Raymond Phillips still fighting hard with Willie Woodhouse. And Ivan Murdoch's fallen prey to the charging of Chris Taylor. So, edges his way past Billy Woodhouse. George Phillips in the thick of it, trying to get past these back markers. Oh, has a little bit of a touch. A little bit of a touch with Mark Hinton as he went down the front straight. Manages to clear him now. It's looking pretty slick. Back behind Flood as they head down to turn number 1. He's still got a straightaway in it. Oh, Barry Taylor to the infield. And there's a problem. There's going to be a yellow. The yellow is out. And it's Jeff Richardson. I'd say he had a contact with the back of Taylor. He's got damage to the left front of the 53 car. Quite a lot of damage to the front of the 53 car.
Got a broken computer? Don't throw it in the bin.
E-Waste Services to the rescue!
Has your TV or toaster blown up?
E-Waste Services to the rescue!
Be a superhero. Recycle your electronics today. You don't even need to leave your home or business. They'll pick up most items anywhere in the Wellington-Kapiti region. E-Waste Services. They recycle anything with a plug. Head online to ewasteservices.co.nz or call 564 5464.
Hi, Scott here from X Factor Cars, Southland's V8 specialists, stockists of the South Island's biggest selection of Holden HSV, also with a wide range of everything Ford, FPV and classic American muscle. With an in-house finance specialist, we can tailor build a package to suit each and every budget, from no deposit, structured payments and up to 60-month terms. If we don't have it in stock, our team will search high and low to find what you want. Check out our testimonials, xfactorcars.co.nz.
There ain't many to run. Nose to tail. Turn 4, come into the pole line. Green's ready. George is ready. Raymond's ready. Willie Woodhouse is ready. And they head down to turn number 1. George has done enough. Willie Woodhouse down the inside of Raymond Phillips. Won't have enough traction to get out of there quick enough to catch him. And Raymond Phillips pulls the car on him. George Phillips still out in the front, looking pretty slick, but he's got Raymond right behind him. The lap times, there's nothing in it between these two front drivers. Clicks over 17. As they head round now, Raymond Phillips loses a little bit through turn number 2. Willie Woodhouse right on the rear bumper. It's about 6 or 7 back now to the Hydrolink-sponsored Chris Taylor car, who's now under fire from Peter Scouten. Peter Scouten says, well, it's close to the end. Let's give this thing a go. George Phillips pulls out about 6 car lengths. Willie Woodhouse right on the rear bar of Raymond Phillips down into turn number 3. This should click over lap number 19. They've still got a couple to go. No white flag. Willie Woodhouse putting the heat, the acid on the back of the 17D car down through turn number 1 and 2. Further back in the pack, a little bit of action going on. Ivan Murdoch gets a place lost to 2 cars. One in the form of Steve Williams, the other in the form of Lansdowne. Out the front of the moment, George Phillips extending the lead. Willie Woodhouse just can't find a way past. As they head down to turn number 3 and 4, the white flag's coming out. George Phillips, clean leader at the moment. He's got to keep it straight and narrow. Throws it in sideways. That'll do it, Sunshine. Heads through turn number 1 and 2. Down the front, straight in front of the crowd, heading down to turn number 3. There's a straightaway in it. To second position. Wait for it, folks. The checker's coming out, and he's taken it. Well done. 47D wins it. 17D second. Then we'll go back to 71C of Willie Woodhouse. Peter Scouten's next. Then we'll go back to Chris Taylor, Nigel Ross, Steve Williams, then Lansdowne, then Ivan Murdoch, Roberts, Knight, then Flood, then Williamson. Well, there you have it. He certainly showed them that he's a contender for this one in the form of George Phillips. He's been quick this season, and that just shows he's quick enough to beat all of these drivers here tonight. A fantastic effort when you see him come round, folks. Tomorrow night's Invercargill, the night after that Dunedin. And if you can get yourself up to Ellesmere for the finale, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a cracker.
Okay, folks, here we are down in the deep, dark depths of the pits, and this man here, good third spot there, Willie Woodhouse, kept it nice and cruisy all night, and sort of, just accumulate those points nice and slowly, because obviously that's what it's about. It's about nutrition, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's just making it to the end and nice clean driving, keep the car going, so the end of the weekend or whatever, it's all in one piece, and hopefully you're on top.
And what's the goal for this Speedweek for you for this year?
Do better than last year. I got 4th last year, but obviously I got a new car on this year, so hope to go a bit further up than that, so see how we go.
What's the car? Tell us all about it.
It's Dutchy's old car, Mike Vagona. It's my engine, but yeah, no, it's just a good car.
Is it different to drive to what you've had?
Yeah, it's more responsive in the suspension, and it's just easier to set up and drive better, so it's just easier.
Those boys, though, those Phillips boys are pretty quick for amateurs and, well, not amateurs, but, you newbies, aren't they?
Yeah, they go good. I was on his case, but I just needed a little bit more, but it's good,
Have you got a bit more to give it?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so Invercargill tomorrow, and how have you normally fared at Invercargill?
Not too bad, and my Super Saloon did all right in the Elf Cup down there, so hopefully it's going to be good.
Absolutely good sponsors. I know you wanted to stand here so you could read those guys off. Just nice who looks after you.
We've got Canterbury Roundwood, Conventional Baling, Canterbury Post, all the team, that's bloody good. And then we've got to thank Holden Trade Club, Valvoline, Kimwash, ITM, CRC.
Awesome, mate. Second spot. Been fast all day. It's a 1-2 for the Phillips boys, mate. That must make you feel pretty bloody good.
Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked the way we drove and how George drove in that feature. It was just outstanding.
Bully Woodhouse was pushing you all the way, mate, and you must have felt him or sensed him or seen him or heard him anyway.
I seen him come down the inside once, and apart from that, no, I didn't. Well, I seen him there, but yeah, I just kept my line.
Got answers for the brother, for the cousin?
Pardon?
You got answers for your cousin?
On a drivey track, yep.
You're not so good on a slippery one?
No, the car, I just can't get the car to handle.
And so was that the best way to describe that track out there? Obviously, you know, you pumped a few laps into it, so got a bit slick and just trying to fight to hold your position, was it?
Yeah. Oh, not really fighting. I was just going casual, just holding my line, yeah.
All right, so it gives you a good bunch of points going into tomorrow, Riverside Speedway. I assume you guys are going to Riverside Speedway?
Yeah, we are. Yep, we're going to be there.
Oh, good stuff. So tell us some good sponsors on your car. Who looks after you?
Powderline, Cleanways, iHire, iBattery, iSigns, and yeah.
We spoke earlier on in the meeting. You said, no, I'm just playing it casual. I'm going to set up for the feature, and that's exactly what happened, isn't it?
Yeah, dead right. I didn't expect that to happen. I was sort of just stoked to even qualify, get fifth in the feature, you know, first time in the Speedweek. It being a very much of an honour to even be included in this, and I thought, well, you know, I'd be happy to finish fifth, fourth, third, sixth, you know. I was just happy to finish, happy to qualify, just happy to be here.
So why? So, you know, the feature just absolutely fantastic. I mean, it was just a really good display of driving. You just drove away, and no one was really threatening you.
I didn't even realise. I didn't even pay attention to anyone behind me. I sort of just kept my head forward and picked my lines and just focused on just how the car was feeling and going from there.
Is there much more left in the car, George?
There's plenty more.
So where is it on setup? Is there more horsepower to find? What's the story?
Probably setup. It's probably where you probably get more out of it. The more horsepower, sometimes if you don't got the right setup, it just wheel spins, doesn't do anything. So it's all really comes down to the setup.
Who does your setups on your car?
Brian McEwen and Lloyd Phillips, my father. They're the main men that come down here and get it all spick and span and race ready.
1-2 for you two boys, mate. Must be something to be fairly proud of.
Yeah, pretty bloody proud. Raymond, bloody good driver, and yeah, it's pretty stoked for our first feature, 1 and 2. Couldn't be happier. I'd probably, we come here last weekend and the meeting before that, so we get heaps of track time here, and we raced most of the season here last season, so we've had a fair bit of laps under our belt before this.
You've done a few laps around Riverside too, so I mean that might be, you know, pretty good. You've done a few laps around Dunedin last year as well. Ellesmere, it's a bit of uncharted territory though, isn't it?
Yeah, dead right. Never been there before, never raced there before, but I'll just see what happens and hopefully it works out.
Righto, good sponsors. Who looks after you?
Cleanways, iHire, iSigns, the Holden Trade Club, Burger King, Valvoline, and I think that's about it.
Well, that'll do for now. I'm sure you'll memorise it over the next 4 days. There's no two ways about that. Congratulations, George, mate, and best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow at Riverside Speedway.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Righto, folks, that's, of course, George Phillips. That concludes our coverage of the Saloon Speedweek, and we'll see you tomorrow night, free live stream at the X Factor Cars Riverside Speedway. See you then.